Welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne Pacheco. I am a clinical therapist certified in trauma and preventive medicine. So it's nice to have you back for another video. It's another Friday, which means another opportunity to learn about behavior and how behavior affects us and how we affect others in the process. Have you ever heard people say, "They made me mad"? I emphasize this again. They made me mad. So-and-so made me mad. That person did this. They made me do it. I want to challenge that thought because the trick of it is nobody can make you do anything without your consent. Famous words from Eleanor Roosevelt. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Now, when we say they made me mad, or when we blame somebody for doing something and justify our behavior based on that blame, we are failing to be accountable. Yes, sorry, I said the word, accountable. Accountability belongs to you. You are the only one that is responsible for your actions. I know, I'm sorry to say it. Many of us don't like to hear it, and as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a little secret. A lot of my clients that come into my office come in because they have complete denial over their responsibility in their actions. Our thoughts create a feeling creates a behavior. This is the primary concept of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Our thoughts, if in your thought you blame somebody else, immediately what that will mean is that you will find a way to get yourself out of the equation and you will not accept responsibility for your part. Now, the great thing about this is when you learn accountability, your life begins to change. When you learn about identifying your own emotions, when you accept the fact that just because you're thinking something doesn't necessarily make it true, there is no evidence to support it, then you begin to give yourself the opportunity to change those patterns and those dynamics. So, they made me do it is really a cop-out for our negative behavior. Accountability takes looking inside, reflecting our thoughts, and then making a wise decision to change those thoughts into something that will yield productive outcome for you. The book of Proverbs is filled with wisdom. It's wisdom filled. It talks about the words of the fool and the words of the wise. And at the same time, fool yielded outcomes and wise yielded outcomes create a change of life. It is your responsibility today, as you're reflecting on what I'm talking about, to kind of put yourself in check. How often are you blaming others? How often are you saying they instead of saying I chose to get angry? You made the choice. I chose to feel bad about it. I chose to allow my self-esteem to be impacted because of what somebody else's actions were. I made a conscious choice to do this. Today, you are making the conscious choice of watching this video. And if you really are introspective, you have the capacity to begin to break out a lot of those patterns and behaviors that have yielded a negative outcome for you. I recommend and I encourage you to watch the video on emotions and identifying those emotions. It will be linked right above. Once you identify the emotion, begin to put this into practice. Also, begin to journal using your non-dominant handwriting and figure out, why in the world am I constantly blaming somebody for my actions? That is your homework. So as always, I say to you, trauma is real, but so is healing. I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time, and provide a comment down below. Let me know, did this make sense to you? And also, let me know what is working for you. I would love to hear it from you. So with all that said, I will see you next week.